The atmosphere of 1960s America was tumultuous. It was characterized by tensions, social unrest among the youth, and Johnson's liberalism. The Vietnam War and Cambodia bombings were a precursor to the destruction of the American people's faith and trust in the government. Nixon won the election of 1968 due to divisions within the Democratic Party. With support from his silent majority, he instituted the policy of Vietnamization, which sought to make South Vietnam fight its own war by trading them and withdrawing American troops. The 1970 Cambodia bombings, deemed necessary by Nixon, led to the Kent State protest. Finally, Nixon signed the Paris Peace Accords with North Vietnam in 1973, withdrawing troops from the unpopular Vietnam War. At home, Nixon established the Environmental Protection Agency, signed Title IX, and lowered the voting age to 18. His policy of new federalism gave a portion of federal power to the state and local governments. More significantly, Nixon ushered in a period of détente by establishing relations with China and the Soviet Union. The Watergate scandal fundamentally changed how the president and the government were viewed. Yes, it did lead to the first ever presidential resignation in American history, but its implications were much more significant. It exemplified no one, not even the president, was above the law. The media was instrumental in uncovering the scandal and making the public more aware of their political leaders. Watergate has thereby become synonymous with corruption and scandal, and is a cautionary warning tale against the abuse of presidential power. On June 13, 1971, the Pentagon Papers, leaked by Daniel Ellsberg, divulged to the American people the secret history of the Vietnam War. Nixon then authorized the creation of the White House Plumbers Unit to further stop leaks. This was assembled by John Ehrlichman and included former CIA agent E. Howard Hunt and former FBI agent G. Gordon Liddy. The plumbers had broken into the office of Ellsberg's psychiatrist and the Watergate before finally getting caught during their second Watergate break-in.
No, guys, you gotta take the wiretapping out of the Watergate office complex and hotel.
Guys, you're under arrest for breaking and entering.
Oh no, we gotta run! Run!
Oh, guys, stop! Stop running from the law!
Run! Run!
Stop!
After photographed documents revealed nothing of worth and debugging devices stopped working, these 5 men broke into the Democratic National Committee headquarters once again. This time they were caught by security guard Frank Wills.
I have no connections to this allegation.
Washington Post reporters Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein report that one of the burglars, James McCord, is the security coordinator for CREEP, the committee to re-elect the president. Checks signed by E. Howard Hunt are found in the possession of one of the burglars, establishing the connection between the break-in and the White House. These 2 men would continue to play a significant role in the coverage of Watergate, as they got help from an anonymous source, later revealed as former FBI agent Mark Felt.
This plan is quickly growing out of proportion. People are beginning to become suspicious. I'm not sure how long this will stay under wraps.
Don't worry, we can fix this.
I need it fixed now. Time is running out, and I can't be the one to take the fall.
It's okay, boss. We have everything under control.
I'm thankful for winning this election and beating George McGovern. These 5 men are accused of conspiracy, burglary, and wiretapping.
We plead guilty in front of the eyes of the court.
Take these men away. Court is now adjourned.
Despite this, Judge Sirica remains suspicious because the defendants refused to answer his questions about their motivations. On March 23, 1973, however, Judge Sirica reveals a letter sent to him by burglar James McCord, in which McCord stated that their testimonies were perjured. They had all been pressured to plead guilty and remained silent about the others that were involved.
Hereby resign from office.
You didn't do enough. Now I've got the government breathing on my back, and the people don't trust me anymore.
Mr. President, I'm so terribly sorry. I didn't want this to happen. I was just trying to help out.
Big hope you were. You don't deserve my forgiveness. You were just a big lot of trouble. Go and get out of my office, and go clean your desk. You're fired. I don't want to ever see you again.
Mr. President, I'm so sorry. Why? Why? I'm so sorry. Why?
Listen up, people. We're going to have televised screenings of the horrendous scandal that is occurring in the White House right now.
I'm here to confess all I know about the Watergate trouble. Yes, there was a conspiracy going on, and we did in fact break in and enter with wiretapes. Tell us everything. You need to tell us all you know about the misdeeds of the Nixon government. We are the people who make justice.
White House counsel John Dean testifies before the Senate Watergate Committee that he and Nixon had often discussed the Watergate cover-up. Former White House aide Alexander Butterfield later reveals that Nixon had recording devices in his office that routinely taped his conversations. Everyone now wanted those tapes: the Senate, Archibald Cox, and Judd Sirica. I hereby appoint Archibald Cox as a special prosecutor for the investigation into the possible presidential impropriety.
I solemnly accept my duties as special prosecutor. I will not hide any information I find. You can place your trust within me.
You have no power or right over me. I am the president and hold the highest position in the government. You can demand no such thing.
Mr. President, or shall we say Richard, you don't deserve the title of president at all. You have misplaced the people's trust. Hand over the presidential tape recordings now. I will not do it. These tape recordings will not be given up so easily. You will leave us with no choice, Richard. We will get those recordings from you. Be prepared. Dun dun dun! I can't do this anymore. Me neither. Thereby, we are both going to resign from office.
Why are you following me around? Don't I deserve some privacy?
There is no privacy for those who break the law. I will follow you to the ends of the earth. I will not stop until all evidence is found.
You sick man! I am firing you right now. Get out of my sight. As of now, the office of special prosecutor is no longer available. Now get out!
Nixon then attacked his own Justice Department, closing off the offices of the Special Prosecutor, Attorney General, and Deputy Attorney General. Leon Jaworski was appointed new Special Prosecutor amidst protests, yet pressure for impeachment augmented.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
How are we going to explain this? There's this 18-minute gap in the tapes. How can we prove Nixon is completely guilty? Wait. We can prove that Nixon is trying to cover something up. Yes! 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 This is gold. Nixon will have no escape.
On March 1, 1974, indictments were handed down for the Watergate 7, with Nixon identified as the unindicted co-conspirator. The Watergate 7 was comprised of Mitchell, former White House Chief of Staff Haldeman, former aides Ehrlichman and Strachan, Creep counsels Marty and Parkinson, and former White House counsel Colson. It was the first time the president was named in such a way.
Here we are. Let's go give these tapes to release. We are now giving the tapes to you. Thank you for turning in the Nixon tapes. Nixon has done too many horrible things in the government. What an evil man. We are releasing over 1,200 edited tapes of Nixon's scandal. They are now released. The court rejects your claim to an absolute unqualified presidential privilege of immunity from judicial process under all circumstances. You must submit those tapes. Case dismissed.
The smoking gun tape was recorded on June 23, 1972. In it, Nixon orders Haldeman to instruct CIA Director Richard Helms to tell FBI Director Patrick Gray that further FBI investigation will impede CIA operations. In reality, this was a plan to prevent further investigation into the finances of the break-in. This was an undeniable evidence that Nixon knew about the cover-up since 1972, and hush money was used to silence those involved.
Resolved that Richard M. Nixon, President of the United States, is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors, using the powers of the office of President of the United States. Richard M. Nixon, in violation of his constitutional oath, faithfully to execute the office of President of the United States. We recommend Nixon to be charged for the obstruction of justice, abuse of power, and contempt of Congress.
Faced with impeachment, Nixon resigned and Ford was sworn in. In the long run, Ford's pardon may have caused his loss to Jimmy Carter. In the short run, cynicism about politics was heightened. One thing was clear. Corruption had created a political scandal that brought down a president and tarnished the reputation of the government. Watergate would forever define Nixon's presidency.
Listen up, people. We're going to have televised screenings of the horrendous scandal that is occurring in the White House right now.
I'm sorry.
I hereby appoint Archibald Cox as the special prosecutor for the investigation into possible presidential impropriety.
Wait.
We are releasing over 1,200 edited tapes of Nixon's scandal.
Oh, God.
No.